Help. Help. I'm stuck. God damn. Yeah, I don't know. Instead of being stupid and doing bad things, I just turned on the camera and I'm starting to edit as I record this, as you can tell. Um, oh, I'm in a manic episode. Scary. Ooh. It's not that scary. It is. But I feel like a lot of people don't understand what it means. So let me start off by saying I am bipolar type 2. My therapist has described it as like the more tame version of it, but I'm not a professional. I don't know if he's even right about that. It's just hard, man. Um, I haven't had an episode in a while, and here's how I can tell I'm having one right now. My emotions are all over the place. I have no motivation. I'm thinking about doing risky behavior, but not doing it. I'm proud of myself for that. I'm finding better outlets, such as this. And I kind of am doing this because I want two things. I want to shed light on it so people can kind of understand what it's like, especially people I'm close to, and to talk to people about it. Let me know in the comments what you're dealing with and what you're like, especially if you're on the bipolar spectrum. I don't even know if it's a spectrum, but I want a healthy discussion about it because I feel like that helps everybody. So my diagnosis started when I was like 18. That's when I got diagnosed, I mean. And it made a lot of sense once I got it. I always would like throw toys around as a kid. I'd get mad way too easily. I was one of those kids that if I didn't get what I wanted, I'd freak out. Like I was entitled because I was the baby. And I'm not proud of that, but once I got my diagnosis, I thought back to that and I was like, because I grew out of that. I try to be very humble now. Says you never call yourself humble. Blah 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 blah. But um, once I got the diagnosis, it made a lot of sense. I thought I just had depression. I thought I was just struggling with severe depression, but turns out it's actually not just depression. It was the bipolar disorder. And another reason that made sense to me, not only because I would throw my things around as a kid and get mad super easily, but it's because I am really happy to. There are times when people need to tell me to chill because I'm way too much energy, way too hyped up. I'm very easily excitable. Uh, if somebody if there's a new thing going on or there's a plan or a new game or something like that on the way, I get so stoked for it, which can either lead to maybe I'm satisfied by it and I'm like, yeah, this is great. It's everything I wanted, which happens pretty often. It's not a terrible thing. You know, it gives me something to look forward to. Or severe disappointment, which can be like, it can straight up lead to depression. If, let's say I bought a $60, I'm going to use games as the example. Let's say I bought a $60 game and I just hate it. I'm going to get so mad at myself for spending $60 on that. And I'm going to wish I could take it back. I'm going to wish I could do everything different. And I'm going to borderline hate myself. It's that dramatic. I guess I'm not a doctor. I'm just a patient. So let me put this in the beginning and actually start by saying anything I say has no like medical basis. I'm not a professional. I'm just somebody struggling with this disorder. And I don't want to lead somebody in the wrong direction. I don't want to say the wrong thing and have somebody take what I say word for word and then diagnose themselves. You should not do that. You should see a professional. You should see a psychiatrist. You should see a psychologist, and you should see a therapist if you want to get properly diagnosed. You need multiple opinions. All of them agreed that I'm suffering from bipolar disorder. So with that being said, my recent trips to the hospital, I'll talk about that because that's how I got this on my face right here. So let me go into that because that was during another manic episode. Probably my worst one. So, long story short, I was working overnights and it drove me to the brink of insanity. I was not okay. One night I had to go into work and I didn't sleep at all. I woke up and I was like, I stayed up all day and then I thought about it and I was like, I gotta go to work. I can't do it. I don't have it in me. I couldn't call off. I probably would have gotten fired if I called off. So, trigger warning. My solution was I'm gonna just end it. I was like, there's no better solution. This is what I have to do. I don't like it and there's no other option. So as the second that thought popped into my head, another thought popped into my head and was like, what are you talking about? Don't stop yourself, go to work, figure it out there. And I was wrestling with these two thoughts in my head and ultimately I lost. I was like, I can't do it. So what I ended up doing was I drove myself to the hospital. Not like your average hospital, like a mental institution that I went to when I was younger, so I was already comfortable there. That was before I got my diagnosis. That was when they called what I had manic depressive disorder. But once I started to explain that, like, no, there's a lot of good moments too. Not good, but like high energy, intensity. Like, I'm very happy. I'm happier than most people in those moments, I think. That's when the diagnosis started to switch. So I drove myself to the hospital. I checked myself in, and let me tell you, I was not pretty on my way there. I was crying. I was like, driving there was a task. I was like trying to keep my hands straight and just not veer off the road or anything like that. And it was a tough battle even just getting there. And then once I did, they were super welcoming and they were super happy that I was there and not doing anything else. That this was the decision I made. And everybody was really kind to me there. I met a lot of faces that I will never forget. And I don't want to say it was a good time, but it was a very healing time. I just got to escape. I was on leave of absence from work. I was able to just deal, this might sound cringe, but I was able to just deal with my demons and have medical professionals 24/7 around me. So anytime I need, and counselors and therapists and psychologists. So anytime I needed anything, I could just pull someone aside and have a therapy session. It was 24/7 therapy. And you should never go there if you don't have to. One, it costs a lot of money. Don't know how I paid it off, but I did, thankfully. And two, it is the highest level of care. What they told me is most people don't come here. We don't want you to come back and we don't want you to stay here. And I was like, okay, thanks for letting me know up front and thanks for putting it like that. This is the highest level of treatment. And most people don't go here. That's something that stuck with me. That made me realize I'm different. Like, I have to take care of myself or I end up in situations most people don't end up in. So it was what it was. Like I said, I met some people. I got some treatment. It was all good. And then I left. I was dismissed or whatever it's called. Discharged. And I immediately went manic. Like, the second I got out, I was like, let's fucking go. Like, let's do all this stuff. Let's get pumped. Like, I'm ready for life. So what I did was I went and saw my girlfriend, told her everything, and I was like, yeah, we're good. We did it. Yeah. I'm here now. I'm not there anymore. Life is good. And she went to sleep. I think she was working overnights at the time too. So she went to sleep. Maybe, I don't know. She went to sleep though, early in the day, like taking a nap. And I went out, and I was like, I'm gonna get my ears pierced. So I went and got my ears pierced. Okay. And then while I was there, I was like, you know what? I got some money. Let's get my nose pierced too. So I got my nose pierced, but that one fell out, so don't worry about that. That one's coming again. I really liked it. And then I was like, let's get a tattoo, but not just any tattoo, the tattoo that I've always wanted in high school, which was this. So just 3 dots. Some of you might know what it means right away. Some of you might not. I don't really want to explain it. And it's kind of ironic I'm wearing this hoodie while talking about that too. That's your hint, is this hoodie. Revenge. And after that, I was like, oh my God, I made the biggest mistake of my life. I'm going to do it again. Except for this time, I'm not going to bring myself to the hospital. I'm just going to do it. So I'm not going to go into detail, because I don't think that's something that's important to go into detail about. I think the message should be taken from it, not the actual graphic details. So, long story short, I called the cops on myself right before I was about to do it. And you can say what you want about that. Some people might say, well, you don't actually want to do it then. Or you don't actually want to do it, or you're not capable of doing it. Fine. That doesn't mean I'm okay. That doesn't mean I'm healthy. That doesn't mentally. That doesn't mean I can just go live in society and pretend nothing happened. Regardless, I needed help. And I don't know, I tend to give myself that help before it gets too late. And the reason is because I think about my loved ones. I think about everybody that would miss me, and that's what stops me from doing it. That's what prevents me in every moment from ever even having not the strength, but the ability to do that, to commit suicide. The medication I'm on right now, thank God I'm on medication, because it helps. It helps a lot. If you're struggling with something, don't listen to me. But the medication doesn't keep me exactly stable, but it keeps it from getting worse. So without my medication, there are times, like, I'm sure I would already be crying through this video, but my medication doesn't really let me cry that easily. Because what it does is, it's actually, I'm not going to say the name of it or anything. If you can figure it out, then good on you. But it's a epilepsy medicine. And what it does is the normal person brain works, a neurotypical brain works within this range. Here, we'll just do this. A bipolar brain works like this. It'll go baseline and then whoop, whoop. Or it can just stay at either peak for a little bit. It's all over the place. My emotions and my mental states are unstable. So my medication kind of puts a cap on it. So I'll still be, I don't want to use that word, but I'll still be bouncing around. But it prevents me from just breaking down because I had a bad thought at work, which is what I need. Baseline, that's what I need. So I couldn't really live without medication. I hope I grow out of bipolar disorder, because that can happen. You can age out of it. You can overcome it. But only with a doctor's sign off, in my opinion. If you just stop taking your medication and say that you beat it, that's not the move. That's not a smart thing to do. You should consult doctors before you change or do anything to your medication. And I'm a firm believer in that. And there are days when I miss my medication or I take it too late or something like that, and that's okay, because there are moments when I realize when I'm having these thoughts, like right now is one for example, but when I'm having these thoughts or I'm realizing these patterns, that I question myself. I'm like, is this due to my medication? Is this due to my just instability right now? Is this due to life changes? I think about where these emotions come from. Right now it's stress. I would say I'm pretty stressed right now. I don't really like my job and I have to do it. I can't switch yet. So I'm just stuck in this position where it's kind of sucking the life out of me, and it makes me so anxious and so stressed all the time, and I'm not really getting better at it, and it is what it is. Job hopping is another thing too. So a lot of people I've heard, and this is true in my personal experience, is you go from one job to another, to another, to another, to another. I'm 22. I've had about probably over 16 jobs because I just decide I don't want to do it anymore. So I'm at a point in my life right now where I realize I need stability, but I need to be comfortable. My therapist once told me, have you ever worked a job, or asked me, have you ever worked a job you liked? And I went, I guess not. And it made a world of a difference, and now I'm kind of looking for that job that I like. The job I'm in right now, they roped me in with one aspect of the job and then just fucking nailed me with another aspect of the job that I just am not good at. It's sales. I'll say that. It's a sales job. I'm not a good salesman because I don't like lying to people. I like being honest. I have a lot of empathy, and I don't want anything from anybody. All the opposite traits of a salesperson. As a salesperson, you have to lie, you have to want something for someone, and you also have to be competitive. I'm not a very competitive individual. I'm very laid back. Like, it is what it is. I don't care. If somebody beats me in a game or an event or something like that, good. I'm glad they won. I'm happy for people. In my current job, that's not encouraged. You have to, like, want to win. You have to want to fuck people over, and I'm just like, it's not for me. But I'm stuck in that position. Can't really do anything about it. So I'm making these next job changes really count. I've heard with people with just disabilities in general, but also specifically bipolar disorder, depression, anxiety, stuff like that. Maybe not anxiety, that always depends. I heard working with animals can really do it for people like us. I'll just say us. So I'm actually looking into being a dog trainer. I think that'd be pretty neat. I have a lot of empathy. I have a lot of love to give. And my girlfriend might not believe it, but I do have a lot of patience. It's just when I'm overwhelmed and stressed, and especially manic, patience goes out the window. But not always, it's like I can keep my cool, especially with my medication. It helps. Like, I'm at a place where I can actually cope through things. So that's why I really do maybe want to be a dog trainer or something like that. I feel like that's a profession that a lot of people, maybe even with bipolar disorder, can kind of get down with. We're not babies. We're not. We can actually handle a lot more shit than the average person. And the reason being is because and this is all my opinion. There's no like medical bias. There's no studies on this. This is just my opinion. But we can bounce up and down rapidly or steadily or very slowly. And depending on where we're at, if something crazy is going on in your workplace and everybody's stressed out and freaking out, there's a good chance that you'll be sitting there going, why is everybody freaking out? Like, because you're in a good mood, or you're so used to that emotion of stress that when they're stressing out about something little, you're like, really, like, this ain't something to stress about. Like, what are we talking about here? That's how I feel, at least. I feel that I lost my train of thought. That's what it was. I feel that it can be used as a superpower. Sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear that. I feel that it can be used as a superpower. And I honestly believe that. If you have your shit together and you can maintain it and you have bipolar disorder, there's a good chance you're a superhuman. And what I mean by that is that, like I was saying, you can handle a spectrum of emotions in a second that some people don't experience in like a year. And that's being dramatic, but it's kind of true. And I just really believe that we're not broken. We have to play life a little differently. That there's certain things we have to watch out for, like triggers, emotions, spiraling, manic episodes. And other people don't really have to worry about that. But it's a discipline. Once you kind of get your shit together all in the bag, oh my goodness, like, you can handle the world. You beat it. Don't stop taking your medication, but once you get there, and you can get there, and you will get there if you really want to, you'll end up having more enthusiasm, more excitement, more happiness than the average person, in my opinion. Now, that being said, you also have to deal with more depression, possibly more anxiety, and manic episodes and stuff like that. I'm not even naming everything, just this is off the top of my head. It's just, you have to deal with that. But if you can, why not enjoy the excitability and the happiness and the emotions that can come from your brain being a little overactive? That's how I feel, at least. I really don't think I'm destined to fail because of my disorder. And I let people know. I'm very open about it. I mean, I'm making a YouTube video right now about it. It's something, to say the least. It's not something to be proud of, but it is and can be an achievement to overcome. And I'm struggling with it. Like I said, this is a manic episode right now. I got a lot of energy, but I'm also, like, you may not tell, I'm pretty depressed at the moment. I'm stressed, depressed, and anxious, and I just want it all to go away. And what I mean by that is I want to not be somewhere else in life, but I wish I had more opportunities at the moment. Something that felt a little bit more personal to me. I want the stuff that I'm dealing with to just kind of fade out of my life so I can make room for new things. And it's work. Like, that's what I'm talking right now, is like my job. Like, having a job that you enjoy and can handle, and makes sense for your personality type, is so important with anything, not just any disability, just anything. That goes for everyone. I've taken so many jobs that I just took to have an income. And sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to just grind. It's not all about what you want. That's where I'm at right now. But in those moments, you have to think about, what do you really want to do? And how are you going to do it? I just want to use my empathy in a job. I want to use my love in a job. That's why I'm looking at dog training specifically. I don't want to have to build a fake persona and read a script and anything. Like, I'll even stock shelves, dude. That was a nice job. You just turn your brain off and you just put the things in the place, break down the boxes, put them away, you get paid. Like that. Those are the days. I miss those jobs. But I'm trying to get a little bit more. I want a skill. I want a career. And I'm just really hoping that I can do something where not only do I feel important, but like I was saying earlier, I'm using things that I'm actually capable. Like, I'm using my skill sets. Now, empathy isn't a skill. Love isn't a skill, but it really would make the day go by a lot better, not even faster, but just better if I was using something true to myself. See, if it wasn't for my medication right now, I would be probably crying, laying down in that bed, the blanket over my head, and listening to sad music. Now, or I'd be doing something stupid. But I'm on my medication. So I'm making a YouTube video trying to just get it out. And the reason I'm making it public and calling it a manic episode on camera is people can kind of check in and see what it's about. If you struggle or not, you can kind of get an idea of what it's like. And this is all just personal experience. This isn't, I didn't pull up symptoms. I didn't tell you anything from any work. Like, this is all just my personal experience, and I don't know if anybody can relate to it. Everybody's case is different. It's never the same. Oh God, I messed up my hair. Trying to make myself look pretty. I also get really irritated and just fed up. Like, if I don't like something, the way things are going, it really upsets me. If I'm powerless to it, I like fixing things. I like being able to do something about it. I love change. Change is good. In my opinion, change is good. I don't like staying in the same place. I don't like doing the same thing. I like being a nomad in many aspects. That's going to be tough to hold a job with, which is exactly why you need a job that you're comfortable with. That's what I need, at least. And I'm talking long term. I don't think I'm going to edit this, except for that beginning part. I think I'm just going to put this out there as like a podcast type video. I haven't posted on YouTube in a while. So I guess this is me coming back with some really deep personal stuff. And I could talk about it all day. There's so much to it. There's so many ways it affects me in my daily life. But it doesn't make me who I am. You know, like, bipolar disorder didn't give me a passion for music. That was on my own. It didn't give me a passion to make videos. It didn't give me a passion for animals. It didn't give me the love of my life. It didn't give me anything like that. That was all me. So that's something to take away, is that it can be a superpower, but it can be a superpower, but it also doesn't make you who you are. You are who you are. Point blank, period. Now I got some chores to do. I'm kind of starting to spiral, so I need to do something with my hands. So I'm going to finish up this video, post it, then go do some chores, I guess. If you watch the whole thing through, why it was boring, no, I really appreciate it. Thank you. It would really make the world to me it would mean the world to me if you guys could hit that subscribe button, like the video, and check out anything else that's coming out. I can't even think right now. But yeah, that's about it. I love y'all. Namaste.